everyone. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is
Hello.
Jwana, and I'm online with Tracy, Crystal, and Renee. Hi, ladies.
Hey,
Hey.
girl.
This is
Hey.
Life Lessons for Times Such as Now. We have a great topic for today. But before we start, remember to like, share, and subscribe. So let's jump right into it. This whole month, we've been doing what we call a pop-up topic. So the ladies don't know what the topic is yet, and they are nervous. I don't know why, but okay. Um,
Because it's you, that's why.
Yeah, it is.
well,
Yeah.
guess what? I went light today, so y'all lucky. I love y'all. So
We
my
love
topic
you too.
today, thank you, is a two-part question. So what do you like in a relationship? And I mean male and female relationship. Unless you go the other way, whatever you into. And is being a risk taker the same as giving yourself to someone too soon?
Oh,
So with that said,
Are you talking about like one night stands? Give me your
or
that could
going
be
in all the
included.
way.
Like a lot of women, some women seem not, some people might look at it as being desperate or whatever, but where you meet someone and 2 days later y'all living with each other. I'm just saying. Or
Got
you
it.
sleeping with each other.
Got it.
Now, one night stands, that's not to me giving your all. Giving your all to someone is literally acting like they're your man and been your man for 20 years and you just met him. Okay. So how do we differentiate, tell the difference of being a risk taker in a relationship versus just giving all your love too soon? And what type of person are you in a relationship? So I guess I could start. I feel that for me, I'm a kind, loving, I love attention. Okay. So I have to be honest with that. I'm one that love attention. And when I say love attention from my mate, it could be something as him, just coming up and giving me a hug and, or giving me a kiss or something. It could be romantic. It could be not. It could be just him walking by, or me walking by and, and he touched my booty and I go, oh, something like that. I think that I've taken the time I'm more one to get to know a person than I am to just jump in. I'm married now, so I can't even say I do any of that. The past me, I've done my dirt, but I think that I'm a person of good character, right? I'm not bigging myself up. I like romance. I'd rather have a ton of romance.
But what is the question? What is the question?
It's a two-part question. My first one says, what are you like in a relationship?
What do you like in a relationship?
What are you like?
What are you like?
What are
Got
you
it.
like?
Got it. Okay. And then the second question is
there a difference between being a risk taker versus, you got it?
Got it. Okay. I'm sorry because I kind of,
Yeah. Sorry for being a little confusing. I guess I was really my topic really was gonna be juicy. But I didn't think y'all ladies or listeners was ready for that.
No, we're not.
I'm not shy as far as talking about a lot of things. And I think that the where I am now in life, there's but so many secrets that I have that it's okay.
I love it.
I'm not going to take judgment because I'm not giving judgment. So really what you think of me is not my concern.
I love it.
Well, I could start there because I think that the most risk taker in this here audience of women. Keeping it 100. I just recently got married. And it would seem that it could appear to have been desperate. I'm a woman of a certain age, and like we say, the old adage is your clock is ticking. Well, we don't have that to worry about because I had all my kids and I have grandkids that's almost in college, one in college and another one on the way. And so and when I met my husband, I'll just start from there. I did question it, Jwana, like, am I desperate? No. So to answer the question of the type of person that I'm going to start with that. I'm loving, I'm giving, I'm kind, I'm compassionate. I'm down for you, whatever. I'm with you, loyal. We talked about that to fault. And because I ain't gonna let nobody run over me. Okay. And but the other part of that is that we talked about in 8, like what that loyalty comes from is us, whether or not it's inbred is something that we're taught. And so when I think about the way that I am, because that's the way I am, I've been that way. I'm not going to change that. Like, it's what you see is what you get. So if I'm down for you, I'm going to be loyal. I'm going to be loving. I'm going to be giving. I'm going to be caring. I'm going to be all that until something else occurs that causes me not to be.
But wait, not to interrupt you, Renee. When my topic, I don't know when you got married, how long you knew him. It's funny when you said that, but I don't know. I didn't know your history, so I wouldn't call it. But this is a good example, maybe, of the topic. And the fact that what made me bring this topic up was because winter is coming next week, and a lot of men that don't have anything
seek shelter. And I've been there. Okay. So that's where I was headed with that in terms of when that becomes what the other half of your question is, whether or not that becomes something of whether it looks like you're desperate or you've taken it, too far and you can't differentiate, which we're using this word a lot in these segments, the difference between the two. So I'm going to start with what we all started out with, our purpose and who we are as women. I'm a God-fearing woman, first of all. And so with my understanding and development and today and where I'm at today, like you said, it was easy for me because I have a prayer life. And I know that from this experience, that I know that it was God. So it's a difference. So God is in it and he ordained it. And this is what it was from the start, what it is from the start. But I have had experience where I've thought the same thing. And it ended up being, it's all about choices, because the other person could also say that they're in it and everything like that. And then something changes and goes awry. And then you begin to question, well, was I desperate or was I too needy or did I rush it? Or, so you do become, as a woman, I'm talking about, right? You begin to want to find yourself in a space where you could really discern and know, like, in what way did I act out on that particular relationship. And so because I'm not, I wasn't married a virgin, I have 3 children, I have grandchildren, I have my life experience, my husband has his life experience. But when you come together and you recognize that you are going to bear all and this means it's it, and you're going to get, even though it may not even be a marriage, it might be, like you said, move in together in 2 days. I think that's a little absurd, like 2 days.
But it
usually
happens.
Yeah. And I know that, Trey. That to me would seem to be quite desperate. But it's, again, here we go with those blurred lines, Jwana, like what we're doing this month in terms of, our pop questions and what we're saying out here to our audience is, like, I think that there's really 2 sides to that, because I think there's also an element to that, Crystal and Tracy, that you could actually take a chance, right? And sometimes we have to take a chance, especially in this, we're not getting any younger. I'm not gonna say give it to some
Yeah.
jailbird, or I'm not no offense, because I work with ex-offenders. Okay, Crystal, I see you laughing. I have worked with ex-offenders. Would I take any of them home? Heck to the no. But I've dealt with ex-offenders. Let's just keep it real.
You saying no
So,
ex-offender could woo you?
so,
I did. I've
So-
had an ex-offender.
yeah. So Renee, let me just go back to, so you said, and I'm just asking for the audience because they're gonna pick it up, that you said that you were desperate, or people may think that you were desperate when you
No, I
got.
asked myself that, Trey.
Well, you asked
You
yourself.
gotta ask
So
yourself
can you
that.
clarify that? What is that?
So am I desperate, meaning did I move too soon? Is it because I'm getting this older? Or is it really God that I'm hearing? Or am I just desperate and I just need some blank, you know? And
Right,
that could be it too.
Yes.
That could be it too.
Right.
Don't keep it. Let's keep it
Correct.
real, right?
Correct.
That could be it too. I see you laughing again, Chris. I'm just saying, right? And y'all
Yeah.
know I've been there. Ain't no side of the track that I don't know. Okay.
That's true.
But Tracy, you ain't have to say it immediately. Talk about that's true.
You know what? Wait a minute, because it's life lessons, and you know how
Right.
Keep it real. We're gonna keep it real. If we gonna keep it
at
real,
the kitchen table right now. Okay,
we are right now at the kitchen table,
So,
and it's
okay,
true.
my bad.
All right, is it? And it ain't Kool-Aid in the cup, so ain't nobody drinking no Kool-Aid.
Correct.
We keeping it real, right?
keeping
We
it
ain't
real.
drinking the Kool-Aid so
That's
we can
it.
die peaceful. All right?
Right.
This is hard lessons, and this is what it is, and this is how I love that other half of that, because what stuck out to me was the being desperate part. So I know now, because my heart was going thump, like, am I done? you know, because you want to look real close and you be like, yeah, I don't know, but you have to trust yourself, right? You have to trust your instinct. You have to grow to know yourself. That's what
Exactly. I agree with that.
So, for me, and I appreciate the clarity, Renee. But for me, I could just say that I am loving, I'm understanding. I'm like, as an ex would have said, that I was the best of both worlds, that I was a great lover and I was a great friend, right? So I can just be hanging out with you. I could be almost like one of your homeboys, like your best friend. And then I'm a lover. So like you can't beat that, right? So that's who I am.
True.
Not to mention on top of it, because we're saying, God loving, of course, that's what I am. That's who I am, internally. But we're just talking about my traits and who I am, right? And I am supportive of my mate if I have one, right? I'm supportive of him. And I go all out. My love is on my sleeve. However, you have to break the safe to get there. And I think that for me, I was very I think at one point I was very cautious, and I didn't let everyone in. If you coughed the wrong way, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? If you sneeze the wrong way, very cautious. Like, it's almost as if a man is walking on a minefield. And so sometimes I have to ask myself, even now, maybe that was because of my past experiences, right? Maybe if it's because I just don't want no one, to hurt me. If I don't want to be in love, right? Because at one point in my life, I didn't want to be in love, because love is just too much. You got too much. It's too much to give, too much work. You may get hurt. Like, it's just too much to be in, right? Love. So I didn't want to be in love, right? I just wanted to enjoy your company and then move on. Now in my life, and I really understand what you're saying, Renee, that at a certain age, because we're getting older, we are, and you can blink and we can easily be 90, right? So
Trace, that would mean we was like 70 years of friendship. That is great. No, more than that. 90, that would be 83 years of friendship. Oh my
That's
Lord.
a nice thing.
They got that loyalty.
That is.
That's something to talk about.
That's that loyalty.
But, and I know that now, and it makes sense for women who go, well, listen, if we connect or whatever, I'm going to marry him and that's it, right? There's some people, and that's some. And sometimes I wish that I was that way, but I'm not. And so I have my finger on the button because I've been through a lot. And
Clarify,
so
finger on the button.
I'm like this. You know, get out
Oh,
of here.
eject. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I am. But is that a good thing sometimes? Sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's not. Can I balance it? I don't know. We'll find out if I ever get married, right, guys? But that's who I am. And I don't think that it's considered desperate at this age and time. If you are in your 50s, you should know what you want. You should know what type of man or woman
True.
you may want. And that really is on you and that person. I don't think that there should be any judgment. Now, if you're young, I think you shouldn't rush into anything, right? I think you should take your time, and I think you should really live life before you do all that. But at our age, no. Listen, do what you got to do, especially if that man is good to you. Do what you got to do.
Wow, that's good. Well, you guys, you know I'm not much of a talker too much, but myself in a relationship, I'm loyal. I'm that person who will work, get up, clean, keep the house. Because family means everything to me. So I'm going to do all I can and sometimes more than I should, to hold it together, to keep it together. I'm very loving, supportive, and I do what I'm supposed to do and what I can do to keep my family, that fist. You know what I mean? That fist. So that's how I am in a relationship. I think I was a lot smarter when I was younger than I am now. Maybe because I'm just tired, just over it and everything else. I never thought of myself as being desperate. I've always took my time and getting to know someone. I'd rather get to know someone than just jump into it because my heart is fragile. I believe all of our hearts are fragile. So I've always liked to take my time. Like Jwana, I like romance. I like to get to know the person. I like to do things, the walk in the park, the freaky stuff at night. You know what I mean?
Dum, 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 dum.
I was just about to say it. So the freak comes out at night?
Yeah, girl. Closet freak.
What?
I'm a freak in the house, right? But I'm a lady in the streets. Okay.
Hey.
So that's how I like to keep it live, keep it real. Whatever it was that attracted us to each other in the first place, I try to keep that fire alive by doing different things. Like, one of the segments we had with the men on, excuse me. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I just love the romance, and I love to keep the fire lit and try to remember what it was that attracted us to each other in the first place. That's how I believe a relationship will last and work, and that's what I strive and work to do.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I mean, that's good. I mean, and the thing is, ladies, when I said, how are you in a relationship? I didn't want all the good qualities of yourself. But I guess that's
here
what
we
I
go.
got.
Here we go.
I'll start off with some that are not so good qualities about myself, which I know I have, which I'm a talker, especially if I have a drink or two or three. I will talk his ear off and be like, "You really gonna talk about this right now?" I'm a talker, but I'm emotional also. When
Wow, really?
when I get a certain feeling, or I'm emotional. And the good part is he knows how to, I always say, get me off the edge. You know what I mean? Other than that, I am very I wouldn't say, they say, would you be submissive to your husband? My submissiveness is not, as they would say, being submissive. I'm his wife. So yes, I'll get up. I do all the cooking. Not that he won't cook, but I do all the cooking because I enjoy it, He does so much for me that anything I do for him, I don't care. Call it what you want. Now
Love it.
he can't come to me and say, yo, I said jump high right now, like I'm some dog. No, that ain't happening. Then he's gonna get the other side of me. You know what I mean? I give him both sides, you know, not just the passion. He hears the mouth, he hears the craziness sometimes. But in all, I still think I'm a decent catch. I'm gonna say that.
I think
Well,
you
I
are.
say,
I think you are
I
too.
definitely say.
Me too.
So
I think you
I
are
want to
too.
jump in,
Thank you.
yeah, with that part because it seems to have been something that's been like hanging over my mind. I've been wanting to talk to you ladies about because this is all, you know, although I was married before, it's been decades, right, since I was married. And I think I told Trey, not to get into too much detail that, what happens with that is that it's just foreign to me, right? This is not as readily available with my tools that I so-called thought I had because he done seen the crazy, right? He done heard the mouth, right? And Renee still, I'm gonna say Nene, right, still exists, right? And so when Nay comes out, this is that person. And I don't really agree with her all the time because of her approach. Like her delivery is not all that great at times, right? But I find that in the marriage, because I know now that what Tracy said something about if you know and you have the other person and you bonding together, and this is now we a certain age, right? That you should know what you want in a person, what they want, and it's not just what you want, okay? It's also what he wants and how, like Jwana said, she's talking about, relationships. Then I think it teeters over into like, I ain't desperate, right? And that's when Nay comes up. Like, I'm not desperate. I ain't trying to, go for that. And I have to balance it, like what Tracy said, right? Because then it becomes like, okay, here I am now of a certain age. I should know how and what I want, but I also should know how to act, right? And I should know how
Amen.
to conduct myself.
Yeah,
Right.
And
yeah.
so, although it's always a constant struggle because of who I am innately, and I'm not going to stand for anyone taking advantage of me being, feeling like I'm not being cared for, or all the things that I project in my mind that I wanted to be my last and final marriage and how I need to be treated and all of that. I find that I still find that there's that one part of me that's saying, nah, you know what, you need to stand guard, because at any time I'm feeling that crossover, then I have to be careful, right? Because
No,
I'm
I
always
understand that.
watching. You
I
understand? It's kind of
understand.
weird to
I get
explain
it.
it, but because I'm a certain age, I'm watching, right? And
Okay.
it doesn't matter. I will still cut and just cease and desist. That's all
But
I got
now
to
let
say.
me just say
Amen.
this. Let me
Yes.
just say this though. As I shared with you behind the scenes, that because you've been single for a long time, like I have, right? You've been single, and so you're so used to doing things one way, and you're
And I
used
had to
to,
submit,
and
just
you're
so y'all
used
ladies
to,
know. Sorry to
right,
cut you up,
and,
Trey.
right,
Like
and so
Juana
and you're
said,
used
I
to ready to
did.
cut people, right? You're used
Right.
to that.
I
But
can still cut you,
right,
but I can't
but
be
now it's
submissive.
different, right? Now it's different. You said that you are a woman of a particular age, and if you believe that it was God that have you guys together, then you
That's
have to. And I know that you're doing that. So I'm just saying that we're just having a conversation. But I know you're
Right.
already there because we already had this conversation. I already know that. But we're just sharing with the audience. So if that's the case, right? That's God. Then now we have to take ourselves into a different mind frame, different
right.
mindset, and now act accordingly. Because of
Exactly.
course we're so afraid because of what
Right.
we've gone through in our lives.
Oh, I'm still
Well,
counting. It's 5 months on the 23rd. I
and
can't
that's a
wait till the
beautiful
6th month.
thing.
And
God
I'm like,
bless.
wow, I'm celebrating, but 5 days in, it could have been over. I'm just saying.
God bless. But I'm saying, and just for my final words, I'm saying that let go and let God.
Amen. Amen.
And that's my final word.
Crystal, you got any final words? Come on, I know you do.
Yeah, I do. I do. I think this was a really good, topic. And I think when we're younger, you're going to act younger. As the word says, when you're a child, you act as a child. When you became grown, you act a different way. So I think we all have the mouth, and it's always going to be in us because it's just always going to be there.
Yes.
But like Renee and Tracy so eloquently put it, as we get older, we learn how to tame ourselves, and we learn the balance. We know when to speak and when not to speak, because everything is not a fight as it was when we were younger.
So true.
So that's my final word on that. When you grow up, you know better.
That's
because
good, right
we've been there and you've done it. When you know better, you do better.
Absolutely.
I like
Well,
that.
my
I like
final
that.
word is, when you know God and you're listening, then you can hear what he's saying to you. And that applies to even relationships. So
Absolutely.
if
Amen.
you stay in the forefront and hear God, then that's more than half the battle. With us being who we are or not, he's going to make sure
Amen.
that we line up, right?
Yep.
Amen to that.
Amen.
God
And
always first.
And
Amen.
I need to just say thank you guys for listening to the show. You got Miss Renee, who's God-fearing, but will throw hands up in a minute, or I should say grits or something. Then you have our other co-host, Tracy, who
Thank
said,
you.
you got to do what you got to do, and she'll do time for it. And then there's the other co-host, Crystal, who today just was, I guess, a quiet day for her because she ain't picked up the cup yet. But we're gonna figure that one out. What happened? We'll look more deep into that when the show is over. But on the real side, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Please.
And give us your thoughts and let us know how we're doing.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Yes.